the IKEA effect is not just limited to physical things and kids. It also works for ideas. So imagine what happens when you have your own idea versus other people have their own idea. Are you more committed to your idea just because it's your own? You've all probably been in committee meetings or group meetings when somebody comes up with what seems to be like a random stupid idea, but the moment they've said it, all of a sudden they're committed to it and they insist that everybody would spend time and energy on that idea. Nobody else is able to see the value, but because they've created that idea, they came up with it, all of a sudden they think it's fantastic. Turns out it's not just those people, it's all of us. So imagine what would happen if you had to write your own ideas versus look at my ideas. So together with some colleagues, we did this experiment. We gave people that read the New York Times a few big world problems, how to deal with global warming and water and pollution and so on. And we asked them to do one of two things. We asked them to write solutions for those ideas. How would you solve those problems in different ways? And then tell us how much they like their solutions and also how much they like our solutions. And what happened? People loved their solution much, much better than they loved our solution. But there could be all kinds of reasons for that. First of all, they might have been able to come up with better solutions than ours. Maybe they're smarter than us. The second thing could be idiosyncratic fit. There could be some people that, for example, think that the right solution to deal with world hunger is for everybody to be vegetarian. And some people think that the way to deal with world hunger is to change the economic incentives in Africa. Some people might think that the way to increase happiness is to everybody become religious, and some people might think that the way to get more happiness is for us to eliminate all religions. So it could be that it's not that their ideas are better, but each person has their own version of the idea that they believe to a higher degree. Or it could be the third thing, which is the IKEA effect, which is the pride of creation. So to look at this more carefully, we changed the setup. Instead of just giving them problem and allowing them to write whatever they wanted, we gave them a list of 50 words. And we said, here's the problem, but now you have this list of 50 words, and you have to use those 50 words to come up with a solution. Use any words you want, but your solution can be one sentence and only come up with those 50 words. And we seeded those 50 words with the words we thought are the solution. In fact, our idea was just jumbled up in a different order in the first line of those 50 words. And because of that, most people came up with our idea. They basically looked at all the words. And one more thing. The rest of the words were just a synonym of those words. So in fact, the 50 words were basically all people were going to come up with our ideas, sometimes with a word change here and there, but basically all of them came with our ideas. What happened? Now there was our idea that we asked them to evaluate, and there was our idea that we asked them to evaluate, but they came up with it from a list of 50 words. What happened? They still thought that their idea was much, much better. Suggesting that it's not that their ideas, that in the original experiment, that it's not just that their ideas were objectively better, it's not just that they were idiosyncratically fit better, that they thought that they were better. There is something about the pride of creation. We pushed that idea even further. We compared our idea, and then for other people, we gave them this idea, 7 words idea. We gave it to them, but in a different order. And we asked them to reorder the words to make a sentence, and there was only one sentence they could make from it, which was our idea. And once they had these 7 ideas prearranged, and how much did they like their solution now? Even now they liked it more. Which means that the moment you get people to invest even a little bit of energy, all of a sudden they think that that solution is much, much better. In the history of ideas, there's lots of very, very notable people. One of them, of course, is Edison, the amazing inventor who came up with lots of things, and we owe him much of our progress. But there's an interesting story about Edison and Tesla. And as you remember, Edison basically invented the direct current, what we have in batteries. And he basically was trying to get direct current to be the thing that would fuel the world or electrify the world. And one of the people who worked for Edison was Tesla. Tesla was a young engineer, and he argued that direct current is going to have strong limitations, And instead, what they need is alternating current. And he actually invented alternating current in Edison's lab. Now, Edison officially could have the rights for alternating current because it was developed in his lab. It was part of his team of inventors. But he hated alternating current. In fact, he hated it so much that he basically got a fight with Tesla, and Tesla left and took alternating current with him. And not only that, Edison then went to great lengths to try and defame and bash alternating current. Edison actually funded the development of the first electrical chair using alternating current to show how dangerous it is. Every time somebody got electrified by alternating current, Edison paid a PR company to go and make a big story out of that. They would electrify animals, cats and dogs, to show how dangerous it is. And by the way, in some sense he was right, because in the early days alternating current was very dangerous. But the reality is that direct current is incredibly limited, and if we ever wanted to electrify the world and get current to go far distances and so on, alternating current is the answer. But the interesting thing is, here is Edison, one of the most brilliant people to have ever lived, one of the most important inventors. Nevertheless, I think that his love for direct current was so strong that he couldn't see the benefit of alternating current, and not only couldn't see the benefit, he was fighting them in order to defame them and try to win in this current war. In academic life, by the way, we have something similar. We call the toothbrush theory. The toothbrush theory is the idea that we all need a toothbrush, we all want a toothbrush, but nobody wanted to use anybody else's toothbrush. And the same thing goes for academic theories. We all want theories, we all like theories, we all think it's important, but nobody wants to use somebody else's theory. We all just want our own. And I think it's kind of an important aspect to think about. How much do we really fall in love in what we're doing, and how much time we're willing to spend and effort and so on. Now, in the academic setting, I think it's really easy to see while falling in love with our own ideas has pluses and minuses. After all, if you don't fall in love with your idea, why would you ever work hard on it, whether you're a startup or an academic? And if you fall in love with your idea, you would work hours and days in trying to promote it and spend more time on it and think about it and figure it out and really work very, very hard to figure it out. If you don't like it so much, you wouldn't do it. That's the plus side. The plus side is we tend to fall in love, and therefore we're willing to spend more time, energy, effort, and so on. The downside is that sometimes we don't recognize when things are failing. Sometimes we are so much in love with our ideas, like with Thomas Edison, or you can think about other theories in economics and so on, that people fall in love to such a degree with their theories that they're not willing to accept other things that might be better. This, of course, happens in business all the time. This idea of not invented here, that we overvalue what we created and not value what other people are creating, is causing many companies to just look inside for ideas, and to spend way too much time on ideas they created, and not look externally for that. One of the most sad and interesting and famous cases of this, of course, is Sony. Sony was an incredibly innovative company, but at some point they started sitting on their laurels. They thought that they're innovating. They thought that everything they do is fantastic and what other people are not. And because of that, they missed quite a few revolutions in technologies. They made revolution in digital cameras for a while. They missed revolution in memory technology. They missed revolution in TV technology, all kinds of things, because they just looked inside, and anything that did not come from Sony was not value for them to that degree. So it's a mix. We should love what we do, but not too much. Somebody told me that the secret to a happy marriage is to have life insurance, but not too much of it. Maybe the same lesson is here as well. We want to love what we're doing, but maybe just not too much.